Yes, we are live. We are live. And with that, so although lots of women confirmed, we have two most amazing women here. We have Katie with us and Clara with us. And we are going to talk about financial empowerment. We
Ooh.
are all going to get financially empowered. You can't see my muscles, wait. See them now? Yes, yeah. Yeah. So how we are going to, we are going to do it. This co-creation is nothing but we three of us will talk. We will see what our challenges are, how we are currently doing things, what we should be doing, what our dreams and hopes are. And based on that information, we will create a 21-day challenge. So right now, it's just three of us talking about all those things and giving information so that then I can go back and create a challenge.
All
Great.
right. Yep. Sounds good.
Yeah. Let me first, whenever I introduce a topic, Katie has told me to do this, like introduce a topic properly again so that people on podcast can see it or understand it. So here it is. This is for Katie. Welcome to Empowered Women series. If you want to get financially empowered, you should listen to this one and get back to us with your challenges and your insights about what are your financial problems and why is it difficult for you to manage your finances or plan your finances, because we want all women to be financially powerful, because finance is power and finance is freedom. So let's get started. So my first question, my very first question to both of you and myself, I'm going to answer it too, is what is it that you do under the umbrella of financial planning? Because there's so many things you can do. What is it that you think you're doing right now?
Great question.
I can go ahead and start.
Yeah.
So, my financial planning may not be as extensive as others because I don't currently have any assets to my name, such as a home. So, my financial planning is really just what am I earning and how can I allocate that towards my spending and savings. And financial planning is something that's incredibly important to me. I work for a bank, so I kind of hear about it in and out every single day. And I have this really intense Google spreadsheet where I log every single thing that I buy down to the penny on the spreadsheet. And I have all the formulas set up so that I know what I'm allowed to spend, where I'm at with my spending for the month. Have I gone over? Do I need to cut back a little bit? And I do that every month to keep track of my finances.
Oh, that's a really great idea. That's a really great idea. And
Yeah.
it's a cool thing to do.
It's
Yeah.
pretty time intensive. It's a big dedication.
Yeah. And that is actually, that is with that, I can talk about the challenge that I have. I have done this for 2, 3 years where I created an Excel sheet and tried to enter my information. And then I don't know when and how I gave up. But in those 2 years, I had really seen, because I used to give myself budget of, like X dollars towards extra spending, whatever that is, shoes, clothing. So I had to really think 3 times or 5 times before I would buy anything, because I had a budget and I couldn't buy everything. I couldn't just go on buying that, this. Oh, I can get it. I can get it. So it was very helpful. So I am going to, we'll come back to the challenges in some time. Clara, do you want to tell us what do you do as financial planning?
Sure. I keep a very close track on of my credit card expenditures to make sure they're paid every month. And also to try to maximize the points and rewards, things like that. I'm getting into like more investing into that, and trying to allocate funds, trying to use the budget that I have to allocate funds to a small Roth IRA account and start micro investing in interesting companies that I see on the market, or companies that like hold to my values, and just buy one to like fractional shares and buy shares of those, and see what happens. That's one thing. And also educating myself in real estate a lot, in how to be able to I already have a house, but what if I want to have another house? What are, requirements, and to be able to be prepared for the next opportunity if it comes.
Wow, that is a lot of things that you do.
Yeah, I guess I don't have free time on my hands right now.
Yeah. I was just going into, I forgot that we are on live. I was going to tell Katie everything about Clara right now. Then I said,
Oh,
oh, I can do it some other time. Her background, her, being an entrepreneur, and her venture and everything. But we can talk about it some other time, I guess.
So
So I,
Clara,
yes.
for your stint in investing, are you using any particular apps or websites to help you with that investing?
Yes. I will highly, highly recommend having online bank accounts, like no paper, no, like would be good for the environment. And there are online accounts that give you checking and savings, and you can open as many accounts as you want, so you can allocate funds like retirement and my dental budget or whatever it is and you can allocate resources to those. I read a fantastic book called, just a parenthesis, I Will Teach You to Be Rich by Ramit Sethi. It's very popular book. And I found this Ali Bank. Ali Bank has not only really good rates that help you compound interest in your savings, like better than the market, like right now I think it's 0.5%. It's fantastic. And they also have an investing app and an investing area that is really easy, really simple, very low price, that you can really get like your feet wet without risking a lot. I'm very, very fan of Ali Bank.
yeah.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
That's great. I love the paperless plug too. I think that's so important right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I
Yeah.
like up to here with email with credit card offers and bank offers and loan offers. It's like no, just all online.
Yeah, it's so much better than receiving them in the mail though.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm going to talk about my financial planning, and you know I am pretty good at saving, and I am pretty good at living within my means, because that's how I grew up. What I'm not is, I'm not very aggressive with earning. I am like, if there is a woman who earns lesser than man because she doesn't ask for it, I am one of those women, because I just think that, oh, I don't need that kind of money. What am I going to do with extra money? And so for me, so I did realize this flaw in my personality, that I had to value what I do, and I had to go get over my imposter syndrome, that thinking that the work that I'm doing is not valuable, because for that exact same work someone else was paid much more. And so I started deciding that this year I am going to make sure that I have earned this much money for, then I would decide for one thing, I want to save so much towards my putting a down payment on my home, or some big goal. I might achieve it, I may not achieve it, but have some really big goal or in number, that I have to earn X amount this year. And uh, and even if I feel this way, even if you're on a salary, these days there are so many more opportunities to earn beyond your salaries in so many different things. For example, I do my dance teaching as a fun thing, but that does help me earn a lot of money, not a lot of money, but substantial money. And it's an important money. That money gives me freedom to invest in things that I wouldn't take the risk to invest, because I am a risk averse person. So for me the problems are completely different, and that's why we are having this discussion, because when we think about financial planning, everybody thinks the first thing everyone thinks of is how can you save, how can you budget, how can you, but there is saving and then there's earning also.
Yeah,
So
I think that's such an interesting thing to bring into the conversation is that side gig economy. And I know back when I was in school, I had like four different side jobs that were all bringing in different amounts of money every month, and I never really knew how much I was going to be earning and how that would contribute to my savings. It's a lot more volatile than having that set salary, and so many people in the millennial generation right now are fully dependent on the gig economy for their income, maybe through social media or being a YouTuber or even like traveling and earning money that way. It really is volatile, and it's hard to maintain consistent savings, and especially being able to put aside money for investing when you're not entirely sure how much you'll earn every month.
yeah, I totally. And what I did is, just to give a small example, because we are on the topic, I do work as a dance instructor at a local YMCA. The money comes in is really tiny. It's real. It's very small. So what I did is I just attached that earning to a retirement account with YMCA, and I don't even look at that money. And I just feel that one day I will realize that, oh my God, there is so much money in here, and maybe at that time it will be substantial money, because really by drop by drop it's going to get collected there. So hey, let's go to the next question. I really enjoyed the first question, by the way. You guys are really cool. And
So are
just
you?
talking to you made me realize so many things about myself, how I look at things. um, Second question is, what do you think is your biggest challenge when it comes to your finances, meaning your financial planning?
Definitely budgeting. Definitely budgeting and sticking to a budget because so many things can change. And I'm a big in couponing and I'm big in saving and things like that. But I like what you have in the sense of tracking my expenses like to the cent. And I've been trying to use apps to track everything I buy. But creating the habit of doing daily is taking me harder than I think it should have taken. That's like so like plain truth.
Yeah, I think it takes like what 3 weeks to build a habit or something like that. So if you can force yourself, like write a post-it note on your mirror, I don't even know, just remind yourself. I think I've been doing it for so long now that when I buy something, I just open my app, I type in the amount of money that I spent, and I don't even realize it. And some of my friends see me and they're like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm just budgeting."
Which app do you use, by the way?
So I just do mine on Google Sheets. So I have
Oh,
the
okay.
Google Sheets app. I found that using actual apps like Chime or stuff like that, they don't necessarily let you bucket expenses the way that you want to, or they may, when you have a merchant's vendor, it might not be the right coding. So it might pop up if you paid for gas, it could go in like digital, stuff like that. So I find doing it myself is the most effective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Clara, I have I did talk to Katie about this one, and we are going to figure that out, which is, you can actually enter your data in Google Form, and it reflects in Google Sheets. And as part of this 21-day challenge, uh, I think a day zero challenge is for me to develop that thing and share it with everyone. So all of us can. So in that, what happens? It works like an app, and
Hmm.
you can make it the way you like it. And I have had same problem like Katie, because I need to, when I look at my budget, I love to look at it as a whole budget, like for my business and for me and for my husband. So just one budget doesn't work for me. Just family budget doesn't work for me. Does business budget doesn't work for me. So that's why I need something customizable. So we'll work on that. And And that 21 day, we have 21 days, Katie, now to develop habit with everyone. So in our
Perfect.
21 day, yeah, in our 21 day challenge, we can make it like, step by step. Day one, start entering X. Day two, do something else. And maybe build that habit. Everyone can build that habit together, including me. Because I know I like, like Clara, I know what are the right things to do, but I don't do them.
Yeah, I think that's the big deal. Like definitely, like and getting a stick with that, like making consistent change is the hardest part.
Yes, yeah. And so what is my challenge? I have to talk about, both of you told your challenges. What is my challenge? So one, obviously consistency, consistently keeping track of my money, budgeting. Wherein 2020 was a great year. There were no opportunities to spend money. So there were only savings. Uh, so that has put me in a different frame of mind, but I know that things will change at some time, and I'll start spending at some time. So yes, budgeting. And the second thing I struggle with is having courage to invest, because all of us, saving money is one thing, but we need to make our money that we are saving work for
Yep.
us. We women, I think, most of the time just leave it in the bank, and banks have such a terrible interest rate. We might as well hide it under our mattress.
Oh
So
yeah, yeah, 100%. Uh, it is not only hard, but also I think it takes like baby steps for you to understand how really things work. Because I completely agree with you when you said before that women do not value our work the same way that guys do, like men do, like 100%. Do not charge the same money. So we are already under consistent, lower valuated, and then we are very risk averse, or we just don't have the knowledge in how to duplicate and triplicate what we already have. So we are always kind of behind in this race. And that's why this series is so interesting and made me compelled to join you.
yeah.
Yeah.
And we will get to the so what I did is, I started investing the money, which is I consider as, extra income. So what you get from your, not from your main job, but your gigs, the side gigs,
Hmm.
it's like a reward for things you anyways enjoy doing. So I take that money and I try to invest that money. And so that, it doesn't become my full-time job to take care of the money, or, just watch what's happening in the market. I just started using this really basic principle, which is I'm investing in companies that I anyways trust or use. For example, everything around me is Apple product. Apple is making so much money on me. Why not me make money on Apple? So
Makes sense. Yeah.
yeah. So I'm using that, not, not in a big way, because I just started
Hmm.
this year. So not in a big way, but using that really basic principle of, and we are not that exceptional. If we like a company, I can tell you a lot of people like that company. And then I then in the beginning of pandemic, I thought that Zoom, everyone is now going to use Zoom, so I bought a little bit of Zoom shares. Then I thought Amazon is, a lot of people are going to buy everything online now, so but one Amazon share, because that's all I could afford, and it sounded really expensive. So so just, and I'm talking this only from my point of view as a person who is a risk averse person and doesn't
Hmm.
really want to take risk with really hard earned money. And so those are my baby steps, Clara. As you said, start with baby steps. Those are my baby steps. Let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes and how I do with it. But I'm very proud of myself to finally do it, like after so many years. Katie, hopefully you start doing it earlier and you are.
Yeah, I mean, I'm one of those also more risk adverse people, and unfortunately, I don't have any sort of background in investing or knowledge about it. So looking at it from an outsider's perspective, it's really intimidating. Like I don't even really necessarily know where to start. So one of the pieces of advice that my parents gave me is that although I may not necessarily be as interested or as knowledgeable about choosing particular stocks, I could certainly invest more in my 401k or in some sort of Roth account and kind of just let it work its magic for me. And at least that will earn a little bit more than my savings account will. So I've been trying to start small by doing that.
Yeah, yeah. And it gives you, I don't know about salaried people, but for if you have your own business, it gives you a tax benefit also. So which is helpful. And the similar thing happened with me with the retirement 401k kind of account, which is I was putting every year, I was putting little money. And then for some reason I just checked that account and I was like, wow, this is what I have.
Yeah, it builds up, especially if you have an employer match like that. That makes it double without you even having to do anything.
Yeah, another cool thing about being salaried, I guess.
Sometimes it has its perks.
It does. It does. It does. It's not always fun to be your own boss. You can't scold yourself. I am so happy that, even within three people, we have such uh, uh, age, skills, experience, background, variety, and yet different kind of smartness. And
Yeah.
yes, yeah. Yeah, it was. And if you're watching, I can, as you know, that because we are live on a lot of different channels, we can't really see everyone. If you have any questions or if you want to share how you do your financial planning, what are your challenges, please feel free to share it. And all three of us are very happy to discuss it. Now, let's talk about our wishes. Let's talk about wishes. If you had one wish, you can tell more wishes because we have more time today. If you had one wish about if about your finances, what that wish would be.
Ooh, I wish I had understood interest rates early in my life, because sometimes we tend to overlook them when we get a new credit card or when we get our student loans or things like that, that we just overlook the power that that has in our earning capabilities and in our lifetime. So I wish I knew that better way back then. That's a wish from the past, I guess.
Yes, yeah, wish from the past. But it could be, Clara, it could be learning for someone else and
Yes.
for ourselves also. You think if you knew, but now going forward, we can make sure that we know better and better.
Yeah. It's incredible the power that interest rate has in your in everything, in your buying capability, in your how you budget your student loans, or like how you can really shape your future is really critical. How understanding for me interest rates.
Yeah. Simple thing like refinancing your home loan can,
Yeah, refinancing my student loan, for example.
yeah,
Oof, yeah,
yeah,
that was I saved. I couldn't like visualize how much I was able to save by just simply refinancing at the time. And yeah, it does have a significant impact in your capabilities investing and looking forward to the future. So it's something that I wish younger people now not know they were a little older or younger, but that they have a more a clear understanding of it.
yeah. And I
Yeah.
am on the, I am of the opinion that this should be included in, this should be taught to us in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember I had a financial planning course and I was not at all interested in it in high school. So I was like, okay, let's do the easiest route possible here. They had a 1/4 of the year course you could take in order just you had to take it to graduate. I cannot remember a single thing that I learned from that course. I feel that it's something that really needs to be improved because so many kids graduate from high school, end up needing to take on loans for going to college, and they have no idea what the implications are. So they choose this absurdly expensive school to go to, and they have no idea how much the value of those student loans will actually be moving forward in their lives. I really think it's something that needs to be addressed.
Correct. And then how that those student loans at wicked different interest rates will impact their capabilities in life to buy a house and do many things. And it's something that I agree with you. They really needs to be addressed in a better way, because sometimes that cost of education can really affect the career and the decisions that for someone in life.
Yes, yeah. And I'm going to go little one more, because we are trying to design something, and we do have a lot of moms in our group. So there are mistakes that were made in our life, then there are mistakes that were made in Katie's life. And then so we can correct those mistakes in someone who is either in high school or much younger right now.
Yeah.
So, do you have any idea, Katie, that at that time, if I knew X, or like if I knew the value of the value of money at that time, I would have made different decisions. And is that a correct statement to make, Katie?
Certainly, certainly. I think for myself, I am really proud of the decisions that I made, and I'm happy on how things have turned out. But I've seen firsthand experience from some friends who have accumulated a large amount of debt, and that's hard to watch, because when you're in high school, you really choose a school based on the name. And you just think it's so cool. Maybe you like the school colors or the mascot. Like it, it's really not in the front of your brain to think about the financial impact. So maybe if we could come up with some resources for a younger audience that we could share out during our 2021 days. Wow, that was a mouthful. I think that would be useful for one of the days too.
Yes, yeah, yeah. And there are so many parts to it. One is understanding the value of the money and realizing how your decision to choose certain school is going to reduce your earnings. You might get a fabulous job later on because you chose the right school, which is not related anyways, which is, you can not go to an expensive school, and yet you can make a lot of money. So there, we know that they are not tied as much as we think would like to think they are.
Yeah.
And then the next part is and somehow be able to show that if you spend X, you will need to pay so much money every month. And you will, if you say that it is this percentage of your salary, which means you will need to, your first job will need to pay you this much, because your living expenses don't really change. You have to pay your rent, you have to pay your, if your company doesn't pay, or some way or the other, you have to pay for your medical expenses and everything else. And so, yeah, I am just thinking aloud while, like I am in my head, I'm gathering insights and at the same time designing, which I shouldn't be doing, but yes, I am doing it.
That's good.
I'd love to share my financial wish. So, when it comes to my finances, I wish that I could have clearer future goals in terms of goal setting for what I want to make big ticket purchases in the future. So, I feel like generally I know eventually I'll want to get a house. I'll have to buy a new car, maybe a new laptop, just those larger ticket things. But I don't know when those will come in my life, and how much they'll cost, like really depending on where I end up deciding to live, what future jobs I have. It's hard to know. So right now I'm sitting here thinking, of course, it's important to save as much money as I possibly can, but I don't have those target numbers like Purnima, you were saying, I want to save for this purchase in 2021. I don't really know how to do that. So I would love to have some sort of resources to help me with goal setting.
Yeah. maybe we can develop some kind of formula that, if your salary is X, and if you are a thumb rule kind of thing, if you are able to save Y, you can very easily have this goal. But why have a lower goal? Let's have a bigger goal and have an aspirational goal, and then work harder towards it, so that you not only save more, you also will try to make more or ask for more. Either ways, like, you will realize that I want little more than this for my future needs. And let me try to ask my employer if there is a raise coming in. And then you can decide how you want to ask for a raise. You can't go back and say that, oh, I need more money, give me more money. You could try that though, but there's no harm in, yeah. So I have to talk about my wish now. I didn't think about it, but like, my real wish, like, real wish, I want affordable housing in Boston area.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Please.
Oh my God. Like, I just for fun, I look at housing, and the pricing of those houses in rest of the country. And then I see in Boston area, I'm not even saying the city, like, anywhere which is reachable within an hour, everything is unaffordable. For, like, none of us are, we are well above poverty line, I would think. And we can't afford like a decent housing, which I think is a big picture problem. And if I could make that wish, I would make a wish that somehow that problem needs to be sorted out, and everyone should be able to afford at least one home.
Yeah, I agree completely. It's so sad. It's so sad.
Yeah.
And there are many things that it can be done, but it needs like a collective push for that to happen.
Yeah.
I will, more than affordable, I would wish there was equality in access to housing. Why? Because one of the biggest problems is minorities and people of color. They don't understand how to access housing or how to crack the code that they can, get down payments with 3% down, things like that. Also, but and either developers are not interested in building for them, so that's one way. Also, zoning laws like are complicated, so it's like it's a big problem. But yeah, it will take a lot, but I think many people in the city are committed to this.
Yeah. And that is part of Clara's, multiple interest, that she wants to make that happen. Like, empowered women is my and Katie's passion project. Clara wants to do that. She wants to make sure that everyone has equal access to housing.
Yeah, and to wealth, because for many families of this for many families, the one house is the generational house that they can live on, pay off, and transfer to their families and build their family wealth based on that. But when you even know that you can, rent to own, or there are other financial things that you can do to bring wealth to your family, you will rent all your life without, with nothing to your hand, while
Yeah.
paying crazy rent prices in the city, right?
Mm-hmm. And which is the similar thing with education also. It's someone who can afford, uh, someone's parents, they can afford to pay their fees to whatever school they want. They won't have to go back, and they don't have to think about paying back their debts, or and so they are actually earning more than, not earning more, but saving more, so investing more and making more.
Yeah.
So whether it's in real estate or it's in education, rich gets richer and poor gets poorer. And hopefully, because we have new Treasury Secretary,
Yes. Woo.
yes, someone with a heart, I guess. I have hopes that, and because these things are systemic, a lot of the solutions are systemic. So let's be hopeful. Let's be hopeful, and let's see if it changes. And I think we have enough to design something for 21 days. And it's our first try. If it doesn't build habits, we can do another 21 days, and we can do things that will make us have good financial habits, and next generations have good financial habits, so that we do our bit, so richer
Yeah.
don't get rich and poorer don't get poor. Everyone has equal access to everything, including us, because we are also a kind of minority, each one of us, in a lot of different things. Because we just discussed that, women are risk
Yeah.
averse, women don't ask for money, women
Oh, it
don't.
still happens. Yes. Thank you for putting this together. I think it's very valuable. And, first iterations are always good space for things to learn and improve. And I'm happy to be here. And thanks for the invitation. And looking forward to many more.
Yeah,
Yes,
thank you for moving.
absolutely. I was thinking of having a follow-up one. I
Mhm.
I don't know if who else will join at that time, because there were 6 people were supposed to be there. There's 50% attendance, but I guess for 100% brains, so we are fine. You are fabulous, like both of you. I am glad you guys joined. And so, follow-up session where we can again invite everyone who missed. I'm sure, because women have so many different priorities. Something happened and they couldn't join. So, and in that follow-up session, we can go over the 21 days plan and improve it, and then release it to everyone else and say that let's do it now. So we make it better than what we could just by three of us.
All
How does
right.
that
That
sound?
sounds great.
Awesome.
Second. So that's going to be, just so that we remember the date. Oh, I don't have the date here. I think it is February 10th. So not next week, but 14 days after today. It's on February 10th. We will meet again. Hopefully, Katie, you join us. It's your
Hope
responsibility
so.
now to join. And we will finalize this 21-day challenge at that time. Thank
Great.
you so much, both of you. And thank you to everyone else who was listening. And I am all energized to make this happen now.
Woo! Nice. Looking forward.
Yeah, absolutely. Me too. I can't wait for it. I think it's going to make a difference.
Yeah, definitely. Well, thank you. Looking forward.
Me too.